I went to his car and he's like, yeah, man, I'm hearing what you're doing with the shop, man, and some of the cuts you're gonna have to make. And he goes, look, I just think SliderCuts is gonna be so big and I just don't think you should be making cuts. I was like, okay.
No pun intended.
You know, and he's just like, do you know what? I'll give you £10,000, but pay me back last, he said.
I actually do intros.
Okay.
We just get straight to it.
Okay.
This is Mark.
Hey.
Okay. That was a lie. Mark SliderCuts is more than a barber. He's a cultural force, from cutting legends like Ludacris, Anthony Joshua, and Stormzy to creating viral skits that capture the realness of the barbershop. Let's dive
This
in.
is Mark's first time climbing, and he hasn't climbed. He said he's climbed trees.
You know, the kid, and yeah, trees and, you know, things like that.
Just to confirm, were you born in the UK?
Yeah.
Good luck.
So, oh, just get into it.
Yeah, get into it. Go. You do it, then I'm gonna do it afterwards.
I almost feel like I want to skip some of these.
You can.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, you can. You don't have to use every single one. Nice, good job.
And what, can I stop here?
Yeah, that's it. Very basic, felt very chilled, right? Like a ladder.
Yeah, just want to make sure this wall's not gonna fall. Can you just jump down? Sure.
People obviously know you as the celebrity barber. What I found really interesting, and I think you obviously have a brother,
Yeah.
who's a PT,
Yes.
but you're also Nigerian.
Yes.
And these are two really unconventional routes. A barber,
Yeah.
being and a PT.
Yeah.
And I know growing up as a Nigerian, my mom was like, you have to be an accountant or a lawyer. How did you have that conversation with your parents growing up and that you wanted to do? Because you've been doing this since the age of 13
Yeah.
for a very long time.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. It's weird because I didn't have the conversation.
Okay.
Because when I started at 13,
Yeah.
it wasn't like a career.
Yeah.
I was just cutting my own hair, and my mum wasn't taking us to the barber shop because we
Okay.
couldn't afford to go there.
Yeah.
So I just cut my own hair, and then suddenly I was cutting my little cousin who was living with me.
Wow.
Then sometimes my younger brother. Then suddenly I'm cutting some people from my area.
Yeah.
So it was never a job. It was
Yeah.
never the thing I was going for. I was just doing. It's like a hobby. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
playing football, you know, tennis, whatever. So when I turned 18, I was in college, and that's when I got a part-time job in the barbershop. So even then, it still wasn't my career because I was working part-time while I was studying.
Yeah.
It was when I finished college, I realized, actually, do you know what? I don't want to do performing arts, acting or anything like that in uni. I thought it was a waste because I was thinking, I don't want to go down that route.
That's so interesting you say it's a waste because I watch your skits.
Yeah.
And you can see that you're someone who likes acting. But continue, go.
Yes.
Yes.
But what I mean is a waste. At the time, basically, the reason why I thought it was a waste was because I had previously, when I was younger, gone like Sylvia Young, which is an acting school in West London. I was also doing dance classes outside of college. I was also, I was also doing voice classes outside of college. So I started realizing I'm doing all these things outside of college, right? So everything that I'm doing in college, I'm doing outside of college.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, why go to university to study these things there when I can still do these things outside of college? So I said, you know what? Let me stop. Let me continue cutting hair until I figure out also what I want to do. And also at that time, I didn't want to be an actor anymore.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, and my promise to myself was, when I work out what I want to do, I will not get comfortable with the fact that I'm working and earning money. I will go back to studying. So during that time, at one stage, I thought I want to be a social worker.
Yeah.
So I went to evening courses to do access to uni for social work.
Wow.
And I was like Monday to Wednesday in Wolverhampton Forest College. Then after a year of doing that, I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I did the personal training course. I was like, it's not that I didn't want to do that, but it's like, okay, I've got that here now, so, you know, I'm still cutting hair. I was going to get into photography, but by the time I got to the realms of photography, which was about 23, 24 years old, I came to realize, actually, barbering is the thing I want to do.
Wow.
So I just,
Something that you've been doing since the age of 13, 14.
I've been doing, and I've been doing professionally since 18 now.
Wow.
So that was the age when I decided I'm going to be a barber. So when it came to having that conversation with my mom, it was never a conversation. It was something I was just doing anyway. And also, I was earning money, and I was contributing to house bills, and I was paying for stuff for her as well, you know, and me and my brothers were...
You've seen the fruits of your labor from early.
Well, yeah, me and my brothers were supporting her.
Yeah. Let's hold it there, let's go back on the wall. Let's get back on the wall. All right, I'm gonna do this one. So one of the beautiful things about climbing is that you can watch people and learn how they climb.
My only worry with this wall is it's just like, it feels like, is this gonna collapse?
It's not. In all my 6 years of climbing, I've never seen that happen. Cool.
Where's the starting hand?
Okay, starting point. So 2 tags here means your starting point's right here.
Okay. We have both hands.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like I can hold on.
I know. That whole type is called a sloper. Makes it very difficult to hold.
It is difficult. And then I go to.
Nice.
Yeah, where's the next hand then? Up here.
Yep. Nice.
Up here. Oh,
Nice,
sloper.
nice.
For real. I need to come over here.
Good.
Whoa. And where's my next foot going to then? No, I can't go there.
Yeah, don't touch that one. Yep, good.
I have to come in, come over here, come over here, come over here.
Chilled.
Chill.
Well done, bro.
Damn.
Hey. We're gonna try this one right next to it. So one thing I always tell people to do is to map out the route. So look at every single hold that's on the wall. So you're not thinking, oh man, where's a hold?
Hold it from underneath, and you put your foot here and here. Come up here.
Yep.
To come across.
Yep.
Foot there.
Yep.
Chalk is on there, so
Yep.
that's handheld.
Good.
Yeah, you just got to not think, to be honest. One of the key things for me, maybe not to think. Because if I think too much,
Thinking's good.
I'm not overthinking.
I often find climbing, you're quite like in a meditative space where you're not really thinking much. You're only focused on like the climb ahead of you.
I'm just thinking, how am I getting across it? I have to put both my hands here.
There we go. What can you do with your legs? Can you stand up? Can you get them higher?
I can potentially, no, that's not.
There's one to the right. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, this one here.
Lean your weight. Yes. Good job, Mark.
But then it's like,
Left leg. Can your left leg get up?
what, up to there?
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. There we go.
That's not.
Okay. Nice. Nice. You see how they're on the left hand, on the same hold, but there's like space on the left hand side.
Yeah,
That same hold you're holding.
I know, but I can't get
Get your feet right.
I can't get my hand. My hand's in the wrong place.
Nice.
My hand was on the edge. My hand should have been over there.
Good effort.
So I could.
If you had one hand here, get the other hand here,
I could have done, okay.
and then you're leaning this way.
Because I was doing this and my hand was here and I was like, I can't get it out.
Yeah.
It should have been. But then when I was like, you supposed to wear gloves? His hands are scratched.
You're gonna be giving people facials with just your hands, bro.
Let's see you do it.
Starting here.
I guess I got to also get more comfortable.
Yeah, when you
with
get
the
more
idea
comfortable.
of leaning back.
Yeah, trusting.
Aha. Okay, crossover. So okay, crossing over.
Crossing over, yeah.
I mean, even legs crossing over. I should have maybe done more stretching before I started. I didn't know we were going to be doing crossovers.
Nice, good job.
Here's the crossovers what I felt last time.
Yes.
What then? What did I?
You can see this one. Yep. So you can match feet. You can match feet as well. So if you want to, you could bring foot swap on here.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a position I've never been in. It feels so awkward.
Yep.
Like,
If you can get your other foot, there we go, beautiful.
Yeah,
and now you can get your left hand out. Keep it here.
Yeah, it's almost like I need to get my hand.
You need to kind of do this. There we go. Twist the body. Let go of that left hand.
Failed again.
Cool, that's two.
Failed.
We have this rule, it's 3 and out. Yeah, 3 strikes and out. I say give yourself a minute, and in that minute we could talk about.
Sure.
We could talk about. I was thinking, do we talk about transparency, about business, or business or transparency? One thing I loved about watching your videos, and about you in general, is I don't think I've ever seen anyone be as transparent as you are about finances.
I think it comes from, I don't know if it directly comes from here, but I think it probably does, which is, I just feel like I'm responsible. Just not to lead people down the wrong path. we all have a responsibility to some degree, but not everyone takes on that responsibility or cares. Because I never had, like, let's say, business mentors or teachers or people in front of me that had done some of the things I've done prior to me. Obviously, there's loads of people in the world that have done it, but not in my circle, in my surroundings, in my environment. I had to learn a lot of things myself. I had to make a lot of mistakes. I still make a lot of mistakes now, and then I learn from them. So I think it was important for me just to be very transparent and honest. This is how business runs. You know, I owe this much money, because I do owe this much money.
Yeah.
You know, I'm running a very successful business. Yes, it's very successful.
Yeah.
But I owe a lot of money.
Yes.
And I've had to get myself into a lot of debt for it to look this good, right? So the business is doing, to some degree, okay, you know, but, you know, I've got a good brand.
Yeah.
And I got good potential.
Yeah.
And if I do things right, this will all go well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if things all go wrong right now, I have a lot of money on my head to pay back. And I just think it's just good because, you know, some people just don't know.
Yeah, they don't know.
So I guess I think it's just that responsibility I feel like I have to teach people correctly and let people know the real deal.
One of the lessons I learned from you, and perhaps I always knew this, but I just probably never had the words to say it, but you talked about social credit.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that's so interesting, having a good rapport of your friends, which allows you to like ask money from your friends, and then you know they're gonna pay you, you're gonna pay it back, or they're gonna pay it back. Who was the first friend you asked money from? And why in business, and how did you feel comfortable enough to do that? Because I find that's the most challenge. Asking your friends particularly, because it's like an insecurity. It's like, oh, now you know, in a vulnerable state, I need money. Yeah. And that can go either way. That could go really well, oh, I'm gonna use it against you, or I can, you know, help you and uplift you.
The first person I asked for money was probably my brother.
Okay. Is he older or younger than you?
Younger, 1 year younger than me.
Okay.
Asked to borrow money, wasn't a gift. The second person, I didn't ask him for money. He offered it. I was in a barbershop just talking about building a barbershop.
Okay.
I was in my old barbershop and I was cutting his hair and I was talking to someone in the shop about, you know, not I'm raising money, but, you know, I need money. I got the shop, you know, they're agreeing the this, the that, the contracts, all the different things I'm just talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just cutting his hair. But he didn't say anything to me. I think it was either at the end of the haircut or he messaged me, I can't remember what it was. But he just said to me, oh, you know, I'll give you £5,000. Wow. I'll borrow you £5,000 and pay it back to me whenever you want, like whenever you've got it. You know, no rush, no pressure. Wow. Now, he was like one of the first people. Then I had another client who had just started this kind of like loan company. And then I think he was the first or second person or third person. Through his company, they lent me £20,000. Wow. And I don't think I even asked him. I think he kind of came to me, or someone who's working in the company heard me talking about the business and said, oh yeah, you know, we could probably help you. Then the next person, I never asked him either. I was just talking about the shop. Okay. I remember after the haircut, he said to me, oh, come to my car, please. Yeah. I thought, what's he want to come to his car for? Yeah. I went to his car and he's like, yeah, man, I'm hearing what you're doing with the shop, man, and some of the cuts you're gonna have to make. And he goes, look, I just think SliderCuts is going to be so big and I just don't think you should be making cuts. I was like, okay.
No pun intended.
You know, and he's just like, do you know what? I'll give you £10,000, but pay me back last, he said. Wow. He goes, don't pay me back before you've paid everything you have to pay back. And he stood to that. Like I'm talking about, from that point there, I didn't pay him back for like 3-4 years. And even when I was trying to pay him back, he wouldn't give me his bank details. And he kept saying to me, but have you paid everything else back? Yeah. Have you paid off your credit cards? And I'm like, no, but I'm trying to pay everyone back. Wow. And he'd be like, oh, stop bothering me about the money. Yeah. And what's funny is that guy there went on to actually borrow me altogether about £60,000. He borrowed me about £60,000 and he kept on stressing, don't pay me back until you paid everyone. He goes, I'm not charging you interest. Yeah. He goes, come on, we got to help each other out. So, and then even the guy borrowed me £5,000 initially, he borrowed me £23,000 altogether. You know.
So what you're saying is talk about business in your place of business and your customers will pay.
Well, what I'm saying is there's a number of things. First of all, if you have, back to the original thing, if you have good social credit, you will find, I always say to people, you've got a lot of opportunities around you. You have got access to money around you. You just don't know it, right? Or you may know it. Someone around you or who you're connected to is a millionaire. Someone around you who you're connected to has £1 million in their bank. Someone has £100,000 spare. Someone has £1,000 spare, someone has £50 spare, right? We don't know who these people are because no one walks around with a sign saying, I got 100 grand in my bank, I got £1 million in my bank, I got £10 million in my bank, right?
Yeah.
So if you work on who you are as a person, making sure that you have good social credit. So if you borrow £10 off me and you say you're going to pay me back next Monday, you pay it back next Monday.
Yeah.
Anyway, no excuses.
All right, good luck.
Let's just go. So, leg, if I can get my leg here, get my leg there, then I need to get my arm there, then try and stretch across.
Yeah, you
got
this, you got this.
We're just trying it.
Ali.
Just go.
Nice.
Mindset.
Nice. Nice. This is good. This is really good. Yep. Excellent. Push off. Push. Swap feet. That's Hollywood. They're gonna say we scripted that. That's fantastic.
Not scripted at all.
Oh,
I just
awesome.
said.
Good job, bro.
I just said mindset.
Lock in.
I just said, you know what? Mindset. I just need to attack this and not think about it and just.
All right, let's go.